Okay, now how does SAP actually work? It's basically um, three-tier three-tier setting, and okay, so SAP works in a three-tier architecture. The first tier is
Mhm.
the database. Second
जी.
is uh, the application server, and third is presentation server. Now, presentation server is the
Right.
screens that the users actually interact with, and then we have application server where all the modules, the logic, the code is residing at, and the database is at the third layer. So we have in application various processes automated, which work with the request that is sent from presentation layer. And those work processes actually work to calculate the logic and permute the logic and get data. For example, like getting material description from the material table. If that is the request generated from here, it will be worked upon at this place. So work processes are different: dialog request, request to update database with data, background jobs, printing jobs, logical request, route messages, funnel messages, like gateway message and queue spool. These are some of the work processes. So the ABAP dispatcher basically is working with these work processes. Okay. Some are running in the background, some are for printing, some are updating the database, some are for logical permutation calculations, and some processes are basically on the next tier, which is communication with the gateways, interaction, integration with the machines, or internet cloud. Okay, so ABAP dispatcher is responsible for all this. So message server handles communication between dispatchers. So, so dispatchers basically, ABAP dispatchers use message servers to communicate with other application servers. The gateway, it enables SAP systems and SAP to communicate with the external systems. There is one per dispatcher. So one dispatcher will have a gateway as well. The Internet Communication Manager enables communication with SAP using protocols like HTTP. Memory allocated to contain the characteristic of a user logged on. Now, what is a user context that we saw over here is that this context basically controls characteristics, features of a user, like, for example, 201. Forward, it is not responding. Holds information needed by R3 about the user, like user current settings, like currency, like date format, time format, currency format, and digit, commas and periods in digit notifications, authorizations, name of the program. Okay, so these are timestamps that are part of user context. So SAP
Sorry to interrupt. What is R dash three? R dash three in the
R
previous
means
slide.
R means real time, three means three tier. Three tier is
Oh,
presentation, application, and database layers.
see, good. No.
So ABAP dispatcher works with request that is coming from presentation layer from the user interface, and dispatcher has multiple processes, which in each process there are multiple layers for the screens, for interpretation of logic, for database and communication. And of course, there is a buffer with user context. And this work process also communicates with the tables and ABAP programs. and dictionary objects. This is a shared memory used by work processes. There can be multiple work processes, and ABAP is basically communicating with all these. Database layer is a central database in which the entire data set is stored, whether it is configuration, data, ABAP logic, everything is there. It also has software component responsible for database layer consists of RDMS, RDBMS, and actual database. Not only the application data, but also the administration data, customizing settings, ABAP source code, everything is residing in this place. So dispatcher is basically working with work process like spool printing, logic, gateway, communication